Ask allies if they have any tasks. Okay.
Hanging in there?
There's something about being in this place that makes me uneasy.
The cryptids have that effect, it seems.
Why didn't Iskarin help protect us from the dragons? He was watching this whole time.
When was the last time you helped save a local farm from a group of bandits? Would you save them if, say, the champion of a dragon slept nearby? Would you go kill that instead?
I wonder what that issue will be.
Iskarin is a complicated fellow. And that's not to excuse his poor choices. He's far from perfect. When he has a goal, he stays focused. And he's had the same one for a while.
Keeping Eparch away?
Aye. Something happened between the two of them back in the era of magic. Before the gods
Era
came.
of magic.
He's been so focused on keeping the cryptids out that he often neglected those inside. We're atoning for that mistake now. We've got Eparch's lapdogs on Tyria's stoop.
I'd save the farm.
And Iskarin would mourn the loss. You're similar in some ways, but very different in others.
Dagda! We're cut off from our home until we can reconnect the tower to our portal network. How go your efforts to repair the astral translocator? I could use help finding the keys. Do you have anything that could help? Isgarden has safeguards in place. If the tower is compromised, the keys magically return to safe places in the tower. The location are mentioned in this book, Divine Biomes. Would you like it? Sure. Okay, when we first begin to ask ourselves about the grand mystery of the astral planes, we recognize with immediacy that we are no longer speaking about the physical world. Although the denizens of these biomes, they are as natural. Oh, those are the words that they used in the Twitter tease. Like shortly, a few days before the expansion. They did a tease and it was around these words. They are as natural as the great stand of trees that lies in the heart of the forest are to us. The key distinction between the biomes of the astral world and those of our mundane one can often be obscure and flummox even the most logical of minds. We can compare it to the act of seeing a world behind the one we know, as though it is hiding from those who seek to ascend to new heights. To truly understand the subject at hand, we must recognize our place in the great cosmic order first. If we hope to find our place in the celestial order, we must begin at the bottom. The firm foundation of a great tower stretching skyward. Our next goal then should be to seek balance, so that as we expand our mind and our wisdom to accept more of the world beyond our own, we always have a place to center ourselves physically and mentally. We should plant ourselves in the place from which one can see both perspectives equally. We will also need to attain an investiture of strength to stand firm against the many forces which would align against such efforts, looking to those who have led the way to guide our steps. There are those who have become paragons of their kind, and from them we learn how to be resolute. Finally, as it is ultimately knowledge that we seek, we must immerse ourselves in the guiding words of those who have become before us. The wit and wisdom our forebears traveled to, time from the past captured in ink and on the page to our present moments. Okay. Leather. Tag them. I must be swift. Should the Isgarden catch on to my plan before I'm able to depart? I've decided to leave this place. I've been here for 1,000 years too long, I think. My mind hurts and it yearns for beings that know all. I don't know enough, not about myself. Something bubbles beneath my flesh, swirling in the back of my mind that I can't quite reach. It crawls and bites. Last time Isgarden heard of my reservation, he asked if I wanted to die. It wasn't a hostile remark, but I reject the notion that there isn't a path forward that doesn't involve moving to the next wave of existence. So I depart. I love no other more than I love you, my sister. You are the closest thing to a soulmate. I need, but I have seen the cards, and I know that you will find another. Just be patient. Find coming the fact that you are channeling the same stars. Okay. Zoja!
The crypt has completely destroyed my workstation. Oh, what a mess. If you see any books or pages while you're looking around, can you bring them back to me? Navigational charts mostly, but also some personal stuff. So no reading, okay?
Ooh. Find astral navigational charts for Zoja. Journal. Ueno, she... Okay, Zoja, let's back up. Ueno and I decided to stay in the Citadel for a few nights after we cleaned shop in the southern Shiver Peaks. Ridlock is with the others in Amnoon. Oh wait, she met Uena when she was still on mainland Tyria? Ridlock is with the others in Amnoon, apparently, so no chance of crossing paths. Uena told me that she needed to meet with another friend, which was starting to feel a bit suspect every other village. So I followed her. Maybe an invasion of privacy, but I don't know how to feel about what happened yet. They met just outside of Smokeset. He looked human from a distance, but I suddenly felt a pinch from behind my left ear and sick to my stomach. Whatever spell he was using to conceal his identity was strong. The briefest flash of light, and then a Mersad. Okay, so that was Mban. A living Mersad. I had heard about what happened with Lazarus from a packed engineer on Lion's Arch, but here? I was ready to attack when he noticed my position. I tried to run. My legs went numb. Ueno urged me to remain calm and went straight to a lecture on personal security. I don't know if it was for me or her. The Mersad hovered nearby and watched. Was he anxious? He gently put a hand on his shoulder and pushed her aside. He knelt by me and mumbled something I couldn't make out. It didn't sound like any native tongue I'm familiar with. I could feel my legs again, though. My weapon was just out of reach, but his voice was kind. He gave me his name and assured my safety. He already knew who I was, and he seemed honored to meet me. So that's how she met Mban first. Journal. Drotna's Forge. I watched my Norn friend as she stood at the water's edge, holding some doodad I'd never seen before. Her eyes glowed as she began to recite some unfamiliar incantation. With a flick of her finger, she inserted the spark into the device, and for only a few moments the world around me was changed. The forge was there, my people were there. It was snowing. I saw a dwarf standing before me, hands offering something. I rubbed my eyes to wake up, and the vision was gone. My hands were wet. I was crying. The white spark had transmuted into a silvery mercurial form, trapped in a small prisoned capsule. Dagda turned to me with a smile and beckoned our return to the beacon of ages. I wanted to ask her about what she's done and for what purpose, but it wasn't about to stick my nose in elder wizard. Oh wait, now we have elder wizards, we have elder dragons, now we have elder wizards. They'll tell me when the time is right, I'm sure. Oh, that's Lear's journal. Okay. That's a big area. Frodo.
Cryptids crawling out of every cupboard.
I have like my reflexes to call him Frodo.
Magic they can find. We happen to be drowning in magical conduits. I've asked the wizards time and time again to keep our more powerful objects in a safer location. If you see any more, get rid of them.
But he doesn't look like Frodo. He's like the opposite of Frodo. He's like big and burly. Frodo was like what are they called again? Not halflings, right? They're basically halflings. I'm blanking on their name, but hey. There we go, Hobbit. Yeah, there we go.
Do you need any help, Urchik?
Oh, oh my. If the commander is offering, huh? Urtik needs to collect all of the misplaced artifacts. Could you come with Skrit to find them?
Anything you need.
Oh, another mission! Holy shit! Locate, misplaced artifacts. Alright, that's a lot of stuff to do for a story instance. Damn. Hey, Frode. Livia is here? Oh my god, that's a deep pull. Livia is here. Do you know who Livia is, Arcadus? She's like a major Guild Wars 1 character, and she also appeared at the final episode of season 3. Isn't she the last known holder of the Scepter of Ore? But Livia is a big character. Like, she's a necromancer. She was part of the Shining Blade. Yeah, there we go. She used the Scepter of Ore to prolong her life. So basically, she is the last... the Scepter of Ore was like a big object in the first game, Guild Wars 1. And she is the last holder of the Scepter of Ore. And one of the hanging storylines after Guild Wars 1 was Livia. Like, at the end of the final story content patch for Guild Wars 1, which was called Guild Wars Beyond, at the end there were a few cutscenes that basically teased what would be coming in Guild Wars 2. Like, one of the cutscenes was that we saw the Centaur Ventari plant or find the freshly sprouted pale tree. So basically that teased the beginning of the Sylvari. And one of the other cutscenes was Livia finding the Scepter of Ore and basically disappearing. We never saw her again until Season 3, Episode 6, which was an episode filled with fan service, but it kind of felt out of place a bit. That episode, even though it had Livia, it also had... what Mursat was that again? I forgot the name of the Mursat, but also like an important Mursat of the first game. It had a lot of fan service, but people were not a big fan of it because it felt a little bit out of place. But yeah, it's kind of big that we see Livia here again. What do you have to say?
Livia? Is that you?
Basically my reaction.
You. They'll let just about anyone in here, won't they?
You're in the Astral Ward? What happened to the Shining Blade?
And there you go, Shining Blade.
I'm an honorary member. Didn't quite take to Wayfinder myself when Iskarin bestowed it on me. I am always a blade. We worked together over the years, Laban and I. He loves Divinity's Reach, especially fond of the food. Before you ask, I have eyes. I know that Maban is a Mursat. It was not an easy bond to make.
She hunted
We can
Mursat.
chat more of that later.
I miss the Salma district. It's nice to see another friendly face up here.
I wish I wasn't. I don't like being off the ground too long, but things are especially sinister. The Bastions, as you'll soon learn, are struggling to keep the Cryptus at bay. Something is stirring in the clouds. I can feel it, gently brushing my skin. Dagda and Lear will be aiding us on the front. I wouldn't mind seeing your face in that crowd either.
Very fun to see Livia again. I wonder if they'll include her more in the future story. Not bad scenery up here. You'll get used to the draft, though you should have packed an extra shawl. So what happened in Ore? If you're asking whether or not I knew about Mabon, I did. But his existence did not change my path against Lazarus. In many ways, he was the last of those monsters. Mabon was not one of them. How long have you known Mabon then? A while. Isgarn helped me retrieve... Oh, wow! So Isgarn helped her get the Scepter of Ore? From a group of bandits 100 years back. Wait, 100 years? Didn't she like... Guild Wars 1 happened 250 years, right? Or am I imagining that? Neither of us wanted it in the wrong hands. They hid Mabon's identity until they could trust me. So you knew, even at the Reliquary. So Reliquary is basically Season 3, Episode 6 she's talking about. Yes, I did. I think back to that first interaction often, and I'm grateful he forgave me for things that were said. Knives that were thrown. We both had to adjust to the situation. Didn't go too well? No, but I eventually listened. He is not like the others. He was just as afraid when Lazarus turned up alive. They knew of each other, back when the little war between the Seers and the Mersat started. They knew each other? Not my story to tell, but yes, the tale even predates myself by a few thousand years. Mabon learned from his mistakes, and there's a lot about Tyria we don't know. I wish we know more of the Mersat. That's ominous, even for you. I don't think we have anything to worry about. Find solace in that. Lazarus is dead. The White Mantle are few and far between. If any more live, well, they've no interest in Tyrian games. Okay, cool. What can we find here? Oh yeah, I remember this room. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, there you are.
Eat my dust.
The food trays contain a loaf of seeded bread and a triangle of very pungent cheese. It's been sitting out for some time and the food is lightly covered with mold. Ew. Lear's chair. What a nice chair. Crumpled paper. Scenario. Enemy occupation of Amnitas. Response. OP designation. Hapless ladder. Sacrificial ambush strategy in which enemies are allowed to occupy Amnitas via stage surrender. Once occupied, all structures are scuttled on the surface of Tyria. Primary risk factor results in the complete destruction of Amnitas, the Astral Ward, and the Tyrian impact. It doesn't sound good. Comment: no. And who comes up with these names? Galrats. Okay. Oh, that is bad. Journal. 11. Isn't that? Wait. Are we like 1327? What year are we? 1336. So about 200 years later, or earlier than today. Dagda came by my quarters today in a dandy mood. Asked if I'd like to take a trip down for Tyria proper. Something about an errand for Isgarn. Maybe it's cause I haven't been back since the Ascension. But it took everything to hide my excitement. I couldn't explain it. So much of my former life is shrouded, just beyond reach. So why am I so giddy? Am I broken? Possessed? I should get checked out before we leave. Our journeys began in a large monastery hewn inside a mountain, touted as a larger library and archive in Tyria. So they're talking about what is it called again? What is my order? I'm blanking on these names. Durham Priory. Durham Priory. There we go. We wandered its torch-lit halls shrouded in our altered form. Dagda as an Asura and me simply appearing as stone in hindsight. In hindsight, had I known we'd run into another skull-named dwarf, I might have tried something else. I don't think this Ogden... Oh, they meant Ogden. A bloke knew me and that I know. Not that I know. Fortunately, Dagda got what she came for and we hightailed it out of here. Out of there. Didn't expect to run into destroyers, but the ruins were crawling with them. I had to split just to keep them off Dagda as she magically picked the door's quad-stoned rune lock. Emotion led them away on a wild goose chase when I warded the hallway to the door. A damn shame I didn't get to solve the ruined puzzle myself. Are they talking about the area in Alona? In like Desert Highlands? That's what you're upset about, you slag-brained nitwit. What about me and my well-being? I was nearly thrown into magma. After I merged, Dagda and I descended slowly into a chasm of stars. Yeah, that is the dwarf puzzle, a big kind of that mini dungeon in Desert Highlands in Lona. At the bottom was a massive cavern, its walls glittering with the light of precious gems. There we found our prize, sparks of Deldrimor. Floated above the cavern lake's opalescent waters. Dagda carried out her business as I watched a pair of shimmering cosmic fish circling one another in perfect sync, ebb and flow, just like me. Bottle's base torn away. Okay. Ooh, another navigational chart for Zoja. That's 3. A dwarven machine. This looks identical to the machine in Ember Bay that the ancient dwarves used to keep the volcano from erupting. It hums and spins rhythmically, though what purpose it serves here remains unknown. Ooh, a destroyer egg. The destroyer egg has been meticulously placed in a delicate stand on the desk. It radiates intense heat from within but does not move or stir. Weapon crates. These crates are filled with ancient dwarven weapons. They look to be hundreds of years old, and aside from a few flecks and rust and mildew, they look as strong as the day they were forged. Raven Totem. This appears to be a Raven Totem exactly like the ones in Bjora Marches, though it does not respond to your touch, and the ambient magic within appears muted. Trophy. Oh, is that? No. This golden goblet looks to be a few years old, and it's unremarkable save for an engraving on the inside which reads Lear. Norn tossing champion. Okay. What a badass. Oh wait. Okay. There's a lot to do in this instance. Torn journal page. Ransum just isn't the same. I've been out of the infirmary for 2 months and nothing feels anywhere close. Is this a Zoja again? The council is too scared to put me back on fieldwork, and the colleges seem less. This is closely after she recovered from the events of Heart of Thorns. Nothing. Past my prime apparently. Send me straight to the retirement facility. I can't even work on Mr. Sparkles. He's scouted in pieces all over Maguma. I think I am too. Time is come and gone. Managed to dodge her each time, at least. But I guess she's somewhere down in the ring of fire with the commander. But she's having a blast. A part of me writes with jealousy, perhaps anxiety. I'm eager to get back out there, but the lingering fear at the end of those thoughts keep me in place. It used to be stronger than this, but maybe I just never noticed my expiration dates. A scroll? Another scenario. Multi-point rift-based Amnitaz incursion. Mosaic Rat. Deployment of magical charge. Sentient amalgamation requires multiple arrayed summoners and stage coordination. Magic consumption requires years of decades of siphoning. Defenseless or multiple critical ward members. Too much time, too much magic. Leaves us vulnerable, and I need every ounce of power Lear could muster. Absolute last resort. Okay. Confidential reports. Aerial raid of Amnitos. Glass Dragon. A rapid response to a large-scale aerial raid by a Cryptus-possessed winged mount. Employs experimental weather-controlled magical technology. Indiscriminate targeting. Also grounds destroys allied aerial forces. Long-term effect on Tyrian weather places unclear. The first time I stood on the edge of Amnitos, I wanted to faint. Mabon and Winnow weren't far away, as if they expected just that to happen. The fortress in the sky hovering above us this entire time. I have 1,000 questions and Mabon's trying his best to keep up with each one. They call themselves... Oh, is this another Zoja journal page? They call themselves the Astral Ward, and they are led by a small group of wizards. What is a wizard exactly? Seems a little archaic, but it all has something to do with magic left behind by the Seers. Okay, so the Seers are at the origin of the Astral Ward. Especially powerful individuals that can ascend through a taxing ritual if they're offered it. Hey, welcome back! That ritual allows them to tap into the magical ecosystem of Tyria to an extent. Mabon is one of them, and there is another named Dagda. I've yet to meet Isgarn for myself. He's usually locked away in the library or the World Spire. But this place is a campus of magical developments, education and research, a living archive of Tyria itself. There are Largos, Ogres, Asura and Sylvari working together, living together, alongside the wizards they've been protecting us from alchemy who knows what. Mabon asked if I wanted to join the Astral Ward, and I might say yes. What scientist would turn down the opportunity to crack the world open and peer inside? The scientist part of my brain is on fire, and I have no intention of dousing the flame. Confidential report. There are a lot of reports, holy shit. Missile-based attack on Amnitos. Cold frame. Structural redistribution of Spire platform in response to concentrated magic energy. Explosive or other unknown aerial weapon bombardments. Fine control of structures requires a staggering magical resource, or B, total structure retrofit of prototype technology still in R&D phase. What does this gain us that a magic-based barrier wouldn't? Okay. Think about ways to like protect Amnitos. Ooh, hey, Mr. Sparkles is here. Zoja, you're still adjusting to your new place in this strange new world, but I thought you could use a friend. I know that Meguma stores too many memories, so I went and retrieved... Oh, they got Mr. Sparkles for him. What's it called? Mr. Glitters, Mr. Sparkles? That's nice for Zoja. Zoja's loyal goal, Mr. Sparkles, sits dormant and covered in a thick layer of dust. Although it looks to have been repaired since Meguma, it's completely powered down and inactive. Yeah, this isn't a Sora lab if I ever seen one. Heir's Memorial was a few weeks ago. I didn't go, didn't want to. The invitation is still sitting at the bottom of the bin next to my cot. I looked at it again the other day. Knut's handwriting hasn't improved. Logan tried to stop by the infirmary. He's on his feet again, I guess. I told Tamo that I didn't want visitors. Logan probably just wanted to talk about her. Heir. He wrote not long ago. Didn't go to the memorial either, but I didn't write him back. I just don't want to talk to anyone right now. I don't want to see anyone. I want to be left alone. My vision is still fuzzy, and I can barely lift myself out of bed. Anyway, all I want to do is sleep and then sleep some more. Oh? What is this? Journal? Woof! I've been within the walls of the Wizard's Tower for months now. Not all of my memories have returned since the ritual, and they likely won't. But the pit in my gut screams all night. I've little reprieve from what lies below the surface, probably angry that I hid it all away. Isgarden says that he holds no grudge, but he's still guarded with me. Especially when it grows dark in the evening. So is this Lear again? He usually crawls back to his chambers or resumes work elsewhere. I don't understand if he was always like this though. All I can do now is to try to be better than whoever I was before. But that might be a challenge based on what I've learned. I suppose his garden wouldn't have gone along with the ritual if there was any lingering distrust between us. Since it keeps us together for the foreseeable future. He could have also done it for personal gain. His world spire isn't complete, after all, and he needed another pair of hands to work with Shadowstone. I wouldn't have been able to help him if I hadn't gone through with it. At least I'm making an impact. Isgar may be strange, but he is not bad. Nervous maybe, and a little naive, but not evil. He did spare me that day. Even though the Mersad gave him every reason to gut me before I could do the same to him. My people are cruel. What glimpses remain are disquieting, disgusting even. Torture, suffering, blood everywhere. What all did I do to that I just can't see? Ooh, that seemed like a dangerous shot. All I've left of myself, my past self, that doesn't make me want to crumble into the abyss is her voice. I don't know who she is. Oh, it's the same voice that we were hearing? What's she called again? Pate or something? But it might be the only flicker of anything that proves that I'm not inherently malevolent. They are out there, in the realm of dreams, our home, our actual home. I see them sometimes when I slumber. Her voice sounds like ocean waves, even if her mask is just a golden sheen smeared at the back of my mind. Wait, am I being put to the test here? Peta. Am I being put to the test here? Now I'm nervous. Oh my god. What happens if I fail? Do I lose you guys your respect? If I fail this? Journal! Why is this flickering? Yeah, that's a yellow card. God, so much reading. Holy shit. Routine check on Mabon Market. It had been too long since I returned to Caledon to check on the state of the market. Ever since the birth of the Sylvari, I've monitored the area as closely as I could. I saw Livia, by the way, Punky. Livia was a very cool throwback. But I've had an urge to check in on their well-being. After Mortemont, I needed to see how they were faring. It feels cruel that I hadn't checked in sooner. I didn't wear my face as I promised to Isgarden. Should he find this account, but these are some of the few non-Austral wards that know my real name. Who know who I am, despite presenting as an especially kind-faced Char and Ophelia Scream. When I rounded the path, made the venture out of Amnetos worth it. We only sat for a short while, watching travelers pass. Myrtle prepared us some fresh basil tea with a pinch of buttermilk. I never tire of Tyrian cuisine. They were well, it seemed. Things in the grove just have been uneasy since Mortemont rise and death, but they were moving in the direction of peace. Some Sylvari have left the shadow of the pale tree and searched for what's next. Others have lost faith, but even the Nightmare Court has calmed in the following years. Fewer attacks, at least. We recounted our first meeting that dreary day. Many of the Sylvari still lingered within the warm embrace of the grove. But Malby was curious about the world. So where was I here? One of the few, okay. Beyond the walls of their garden sanctuary, the market hadn't been established, but she called that little red bulb home. I was headed back from the jungle when I heard her scream. The crate had found her little sanctuary. I expelled the enemy. I was headed back from the jungle when I heard her scream, okay? I expelled the enemy and poor Malby, surely she didn't know what to do with me either. I've never seen a Char before as a ceasefire was still recent, and even if I sculpted that identity to be as warm as possible, having a large feline stand before her, okay, Char, was frightening nonetheless. When I convinced her that I was no foe, her face lit up with joy. The curiosity I attribute to all of their kind, lovely, beautiful creatures. My visit was cut short when I felt Iskarin's pull at the back of my mind, beckoning me back to the Wizard's Tower. I held my friends for a long moment and then I left. I won't take as long to visit them next time. Mersat armor. This decorative bust displays the helmet polish of a suit of Mersat armor that looks strikingly familiar. Is it? Familiar? This statue has a plaque that reads, Samurok was not our destiny to correct, but that of another. We must keep our eyes on the obscure. The rest will correct itself, Iskarin. What do you have to do with Samurok? This statue has a plaque engraved with the following. DeMazz, felled by the pack commander. Never forget that Tyria has defenses of their own. We need not shoulder every burden. Oh, is Samurok also a demon? I know DeMazz was a demon. Journal. I decided to leave. First decision I've made since waking up that brings me any sense of relief. Packed up my things and hit the road. Rather soon eat Dalyak dung. Have fun cleaning out my closet. Just give me credit for anything you find in there. I hitched a ride to Queensdale. Haven't been out here in a while. Hasn't changed a bit. Stayed in the same lodge Logan and I did every time we went to Lion's Arch. The smell is poignant. Meat and cedar, lots of sweat. They just finished a boar hunt when I arrived, so the whole venue is celebrating. What are they celebrating, you may ask? If I had to guess, just being alive, not being stomped out by an elder dragon. Being around happy people was refreshing. Loud though. 2 years ago, I was sitting on my bed in the infirmary. I stared out the window all day. This is Zoja again, listening to the judgmental whispers outside my door. Now I'm sitting in a tavern. Glass full of juice. Ale doesn't agree with me these days. Joined by another Usura actually. A lady named Ueno. I feel like I know the name, but I can't recall. Oh, that's when she met Ueno. Okay. Alright, then we have all of the side ones, right? Yeah, we have all of the side ones. Oh my god, how long have we spent in this place? Holy shit, so much to do. So much to see.
Aurene, if you could see this place.
Hey, Aurene reference.
Aurene? Is that the prismatic dragon? Or whatever you people call her?
How did you... Yes, she is. One of my dearest companions.
She is not dead. And yet you mourn.
Well, story-wise, she's kinda dead.
She's sleeping. And we're not sure when she's going to wake up. Could be 1,000 years.
That makes you sad. Not knowing.
Sad in that I don't know when our next meeting will be. But I don't think that was it. I'll see her again. I know it.
That is the line that Arcadus is gonna cling to. That's a sign, right, Arcadus? Alright!
Good work, Commander. I appreciate your... efficiency.
See?
With the astral translocator back up and running, we're ready to move.
I don't know what awaits us among the bastions, but we must move forward, Maban or no.
With a Wayfinder on our side, it'll be a fun fight.
Who's the Wayfinder?
You.
Is that my new title?
You have proven
I'm no longer the
loyal
commander, I'm the
enough
Wayfinder?
for now.
I'm honored. You barely know me.
We're
You've
special.
still time to disappoint us.
That's a good one.
Let us finish our preparations.
I like Dag
We
as a
will retake
character.
the bastions and push for the spire.
Okay.
One more thing for my list of accomplishments.